this is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason. This is a video here on the Run the Numbers channel that's part of the warm-up series. So this video will be on the go in the beautiful Los Angeles area on the streets here, walking through on sunshiny day, where we'll do this video that will be part of the 100 videos in 100 days that we're trying to do, 100 video challenge. It's a way to get a whole lot of content out that hopefully helps you on your personal finance journey. And today is a good topic. Today we're literally going to do something of a mailbag. We're going to go through I just checked my mail recently, so my actual physical paper mail, and I was sent some direct mail advertisements from a couple of different companies. So I've opened them up. I've taken out some of my personal address and a mailing address and other things so I can show you these advertisements in detail, or just read through them a little bit so I can go fast through them to let you know if in fact they've won me over, they've got my business, or if they didn't do so, if they kind of missed the mark and didn't get me to want to sign up, or somewhere in between if I'm going to maybe look in and try to learn more details. So with that being the case, I'll also give one other thing before we jump in, and that is to give some context, a little bit of level setting. If you're new to the channel, I've made some other videos where you can get a sense as to my preferences for credit cards, that I'm a cashback I like the benefit of cash back. I'm a cash back maximizer. I'm not too interested in travel, so the whole travel cards aren't doing it for me. And another thing to make of note is that my largest expense in my household is groceries. So I'm looking for something that gives a high cash back amount, specifically where I can use that towards grocery store purchases. So we'll see if any of these in fact fit the bill, but I'll put all that in context. You can learn some more details about that in a video called How I Use Credit Cards. And that video, How I Use Credit Cards, I'll put a link to that in the description. So let's go ahead and cross the street here as safely as possible, and I'll then go ahead and go through some of my mail. These just happen to be 3 random ones that I thought would be good to share. Of course, I get much more, and I wish I wouldn't get so much paper mail, and so I'm not trying to solicit paper mail or anything, but I thought it's good content here that you can kind of go through some of my decision making and learn a little bit here. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into let you know what the 3 of them are. I was sent something from Discover, the Discover It card, a little offering there, a little solicitation for that, or advertisement for that. I was just sent something from Wells Fargo, their Reflect card, and then I was also sent something from AAA. I was actually and I'm going to say unrelated, but it was something separate, and that it was actually an offering to add an additional membership to the coverage I get for kind of my AAA membership, roadside assistance. While I was looking through this, I also kind of saw that they slipped in a little bit, and let's just start right here. Okay, so the one I got from AAA, what they slipped in was a little bit of a little slip here, an advertisement for their AAA Signature Visa cards. Their AAA Visa Signature credit cards. There's 2 of them that they're advertising. If you can see the visual here, there's in fact 2 that they offer, or at least that they're showing to me here, and that is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card and the AAA Travel Advantage Visa Signature card. And what they're offering and why it becomes apparent, by the way, on the back here, they're trying to say about saving up 30% on tickets, concerts, sporting events, theme parks, so other things. My family, we don't really go see, movies in the movie theater or sporting events, or I don't think we've ever really even been to a theme park. So that whole element, I'm just gonna skip right over. Doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. But let's go through, and what does catch my eye is that they give kind of three different numbers here of a 5%, 3%, and 1%. And what catches my eye on those of those numbers is the 5%. So I want to see if the 5% of each of the respective cards, in fact, sells me and wins me over to match the categories that I've alluded to earlier, that I've mentioned earlier. That if it can go into grocery store purchases, that makes it really pique my interest. So let's see. Well, let's rule out the one that clearly doesn't. The one that's 5% for gas and EV charging stations. That one is the AAA Travel Advantage Visa Signature credit card. So, yep, that one's out. I'm not too interested. I don't do all that much gasoline purchases, and I don't have an EV, so I don't do EV charging. So, okay, clearly not going to look through that. Consider that. So the one I will consider is the other one shown here, and that is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature credit card. That one, the 5% cash back, is for purchases from grocery stores. Boom, boom, boom. That's the winner. That does it. Now, the thing is, it meets all the things I was saying I was looking for, but, you know, is it truly worth it? I want to make sure it has a $0 annual fee. I don't see anywhere in here, and I'm even looking through some of the fine print. I don't see anything about what an annual fee might be or if it's $0. So I'm gonna have to try to learn a little bit more to see if what the info is there. Also, I want to make sure that, you know, do they offer the 5% cash back? And in fact, you know, there are some maximums, and I'm looking through some of the fine print real quickly. There is a maximum of 500 USD cashback earned in a calendar year at grocery stores. After that, 1% cash. Okay, so the answer is there is a max, $500. It's not so clear from the wording on this. Is that $500 in the total spend at grocery store, and then you earn 5% back on that 5%? Or is it 5% is the $500 is the cap to the total amount of your cashback earnings? A little bit funky. Maybe I'm just simply trying to do this too fast and not giving it a thorough examination. But if that was the case, $500, 20%. So that's, doing the math there, is $10,000 of spending to max out, getting to that cap there. So of course, $10,000 in grocery spending is quite substantial. I would say that definitely piques my interest, because that's a healthy max. So okay, so I got a little bit of digging to do, and the answer to this first question to look through is I'd like to learn more. So a little bit unsure on if I'm gonna go through. Maybe I'll give a follow-up, and in fact let you know if I've gone through and got that card. But they've at least, you know, piqued my interest a bit to learn if that's going to happen. All right, let me go through in something that's maybe a little bit more of a clear-cut decision. I can kind of keep this one extra fast to let you know. The Wells Fargo Reflect. This one, I already know right away what's sort of being advertised, what's being put front and center here, is that there's 0% intro APR for 21 months. That's quite an extensive amount of time, quite a long period of 0% APR. And really what the whole idea there, I guess, reflect is kind of reflect on your crazy choices to be racking up high credit card debt. Little joke there of so really, yeah, they're wanting you to kind of think through how to use this card to put really all your balances of other cards that are potentially getting much higher APR. So yeah, their language here: pay down higher rate cards by transferring balances. stress less. Da, da, da. Okay, so it's really this whole element here is like take advantage of the 0% time. Now, it it is something I do is take advantage of 0% APR. I don't do that in a dangerous way. I think I've mentioned in other videos that when I do it, I'm very careful to make sure I have the ability to just quickly take out all of what I've accumulated. I can just take out that balance from a savings real fast, transfer it over. It won't be too high. Do I care? The whole element of like high utilization rates and all these other things, if I really let that balloon up, that'll go down after a little bit of time. So I'm not too worried. So that's to say, I do sort of go down this road to some extent where I'll let a balance get a little bit high up there, but it's within my means. I'm definitely, like I said, playing that pretty well, and taking advantage of it as I should. So, is this though selling me enough that I want to, jump into this card? The answer is a clear no. All right, last and not least, the Discover mailing here. It's nice and pretty. What is from here is a nice, pretty little pamphlet, where this too has a nice intro, 0% intro, all the way up to 18 months. That's pretty extensive. So that again, nice. But what really they're trying to sell is here the cashback rewards. Well, I've mentioned about how I'm looking for cashback, and it says you can earn 5% cash back on everyday purchases at different places you shop, including grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, but grocery stores. That again, ding, 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 ding. That gets me to want to know a little bit more. If anything is outside of a category, so you have to pick a category ahead of time. Of course, if I play it right and I know what's going on, I'm gonna obviously pick that quarterly category to be grocery stores. That's my largest purchasing category. The other ones, restaurants, gas stations. I suppose I can put that in there, and use 5% when, basically I'm using up the 5%, say from the Freedom Flex is going towards groceries. Maybe I can sort of then I'm just thinking through, I would put the Discover It one on things. My next highest might be gas. I'd have to think through a little bit as to what could work there. So there's some possibilities. Here's something to really consider that I'm seeing in some of the print that they give here, and that is you get an unlimited cashback match. Automatically match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. There's no limit to this max. So that's really, like, you could think of that in another way to say you're really getting 10% cash back on your top, your other things you're maxing out at, which is of course phenomenal. 10%, you're getting that for a year. That's awesome. And then really you're getting, everything else earns 1%, and if you're getting a match to that 1%, doing easy math there to say you're getting an effective 2% cash back on really everything else. And as I've mentioned, I'm looking for a card that I can just get a good 2%. So this might win me over. It does have a $0 annual fee, $0 annual fee. So I don't need to worry if this, I realize that it, just kind of isn't, the math isn't mathing and as I'm intending, and just kind of all this isn't working out. No harm in that, it didn't cost me $95 or $300 or some crazy amount. I'm getting all this as a way to get into their whole ecosystem. So yeah, I think I might be sold on the Discover It. So I'm definitely going to look into that a bit more, try to understand if that 5% cashback on the particular category has a max. It says it does. I was looking through some of the print there. Didn't say what that max was. But really, it doesn't matter too much because I'll just hit through that max. I'll play it so that I hit through that max. And then everything else, I'm getting 2%, which for a year of time, getting 2% definitely is great. Better than my sort of placeholder, my free Chase Freedom Flex. No, correction. Chase Freedom Unlimited. Chase Freedom Unlimited is the card I'm using as kind of my placeholder for everyday all purchases, and that's at 1.5. So obviously getting an effective 2% is much better than 1.5. Just a small little bit. So yeah, that could be my card. I just kind of put everything on, at least for a year. Well, that's rounding out what I've been sent in the mail recently, some of what I've been sent in the mail, and some of my thoughts about it. So different levels of my enthusiasm you maybe picked up on here as to what I'm going to look into, what I outright rejected, and some of the cards that I'm now strongly considering to use. That being the Discover one is definitely the one I can think might be the winner. All right, that's what I got. I'll leave you there. Gotta run.